Executive Director of Colorado Rising and 2019 Colorado Democrat of the Year, Joe Salazar!
Yeah!
¡Cúbole, mi gente! What's up, Colorado? I have some disturbing and breaking news, my family. It is being reported that billionaires are trying to buy the presidency. It is being reported that the oligarchs have taken over this country. That their goal is to make money off our backs while they pay no taxes. It is being reported, my family, that establishment politicians, the incrementalists of our time, are trying to lull you back to sleep. That they don't want you to get rowdy, they don't want you to fight for yourselves because, well, it makes them feel uncomfortable. Because an incrementalist is just another way of saying an unimaginative politician who's willing to kill us slower.
They sick us,
It is being reported that families from Durango to Julesburg are just one crushing medical emergency away from financial disaster. That families in Eads and Craig have no idea how they're going to pay for their children's college without massive debt. It is being reported today that young people, families, and working people cannot live in Denver, the San Luis Valley, and Fort Collins because there is no affordable housing. And working 2 jobs just isn't enough to make ends meet. It is being reported today that the fossil fuel industry has been lying to us for decades, slowly killing us with their poisons, making wicked profits over your health and over the environment. And Mother Earth was reported saying, "Oh, I'm coming for you." That same breaking news tells us that billionaires don't pay taxes, that as people struggle, cowardly moderates, they remain safe in their feelings and in their comfortable bubbles. But wait, is anything I just said really breaking news?
Nope.
No, it is not. That's the story of America. With an immoral, impeached circus clown sitting in the White House, with billionaires trying to dominate a government for the people, with incrementalists closing their eyes to a climate crisis, we can write a different story. It is in our hands to write this story about rising up, about fighting for our Mother Earth, evolving into our better selves, and to become the greatest generation the world history has ever seen. This story includes a leader who has been speaking the hard truth for decades, who hasn't been shy about shining sunlight on the corporate takeover of America, who hasn't hesitated to stand for people of color, our LGBTQ community, our disabled family, our labor family, our young people, our elders, and our Mother Earth. This story that we're gonna write is about a leader who repudiates our militaristic nature and advocates for peace, for humanity, and he appeals to our better nature, which is that we take care of each other. This story includes the antagonists, those billionaires who know that he will not hold them, who know that he will hold them accountable. Those incrementalist, moderate cowards who still will now have to govern and step outside their comfort zones and actually govern for us. Because what do they say? If you can't take the heat, get out of the fire. But guess what? All of us here, we were born in fire. And we have been prepared for this moment right now. is about. This story is about Senator Bernie Sanders as he becomes president of the United States. A moral and righteous leader, someone who will fight for the indigenous community. He is someone who will take us from these dark times and into a better America. This story about President Bernie Sanders will be told about how he reached out to the poorest, the most disenfranchised communities, and he lifted them up. How he used the power of the people to hold corporate polluters responsible, made corporations finally pay their damn fair share as he returned America to the people. We have to write this story about a President Sanders who helped us cross the finish line to finally achieve the human right of universal health care and to finally seize the dream of our kids receiving an education without the crushing weight of debts. My Colorado family, we are writing this story right now, standing here, rallying around this leader, fighting for our state, our country, because we know that we are not immune to the horrors faced by this current administration.
Right.
Bernie Sanders will be our president because, that's right, he will be our president. He will be our president. You know damn well he is going to be our president. Because Democrats and unaffiliated voters, and even Republicans, have been burned too many times by politicians who buy their seats, and spineless politicians who jump behind bushes when asked to make hard decisions. Bernie Sanders will be our president because our Colorado communities will rally around a moral man, a man with a consistent message, a man who has proven himself time and time again that he stands with us. So, you guys ready? You guys ready? I want to hear that you're ready. With one voice, mi gente, mi people, give it up for our next president of the United States, Bernie Sanders.
Don't tell anybody, but I think we're going to win here in Colorado. Wow, what a turnout. Thank you all very much for being here. And let me introduce you to the next First Lady of the United States. Let me thank Mike Posler for the music. Let me thank the Vatchka for their music. Let me thank Emily Sirota for the great work she does in the legislature. Let me thank Radek Nath for her remarks. And let me thank Joe Salazar for all that he does. Our campaign is about a few fundamental issues, and at the top of the list is the need to defeat Donald Trump, the most dangerous president. Now, we may have disagreements in this country, and we certainly do, but the vast majority of the American people understand we cannot continue to have a president who is a pathological liar, who is running a corrupt administration, who has no clue what the Constitution of the United States is about, who is a bully, who is vindictive, who is a racist, who is a sexist, who is a homophobe, who is a xenophobe, who is a religious bigot. And those are his best qualities. It goes down from there. And let me say that Trump is also a fraud. You all remember, this is a guy who said in 2016, he's a friend of working people. Remember that? Well, Mr. Trump, you're not a friend of working people when you try to throw 32 million people off the health care they have. You're not a friend of working people when your tax proposal gives 83% of its benefits over 10 years to the top 1%.
Not a friend, not a friend.
You're not a friend of working people when you try to make massive cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. You're not a friend of working people when just the other day you have a nice little cozy fundraiser with your billionaire friends. You raise $10 million, charging people $150,000 each to get a photo with you. So Trump is not only a liar, he is a fraud, and together, putting together the strongest grassroots movement this country has ever seen, we're going to defeat him. And we're going to defeat him because the American people understand there is something fundamentally wrong in this country when we got 3 people who own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. Something wrong when the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 92%. Something wrong when people all over this country work in 2 or 3 jobs, when half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck, when 500,000 people in America are sleeping out in the streets,
Something wrong.
while Trump and his billionaire friends get richer and richer and richer.
Something wrong.
So we got a message for Mr. Trump and the corporate elite. Together, we're going to create a government and an economy that work for all of us, not just the one.